Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another recap of Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 5, Episode 8, Push to the Limit. Let's just say this opening scene was really a lot. So as we know, and y'all seen, Jonah slaps Danni, right? And she was like, you can't be serious. This can't be happening. And he's like, oh, it's happening. And she said something. He turns around from buttoning his shirt and he spits on her. Like, that right there is the ultimate disgust. Like, you really that mad that you're small? I mean, like I said in the last episode, like, so he might feel emasculated, like feel like she's taking his manhood away from. I mean, he ain't have much manhood to take, but but you know, it's like, I mean, I'm thinking like, should she kept her comments to herself? She in her house, so I don't know. I don't think she should have let it get that far. But then again, I'm not blaming her, but I'm just saying, like, you seen the red flags. Like, you should have picked up on it. Like, come on now. But anyways, let's get back to it. So he slaps her and spits on her. And once she realized he spit on her, she gets up to go. And he runs behind her and ends up throwing her to the floor, and they're fighting, and she's trying to hit her or choke her, whatever case may be. He's like, what was that about a small penis? And he was like, say you sorry. And he's slapping her on her face like, say you sorry. And she's like, sorry. And then she realizing, like, let me not even say nothing, because why am I saying sorry to you? I'm not the one with the small penis, you is. But it's like, I don't know. That situation right there, I don't wish that on nobody, regardless of how I may feel about you or whatever the case may be. But that right there was like too much. And then after he did what he did, he gets up and leaves. So she follows right behind him, and she's like, you hit me. He was like, go on, shut up about it. You hit me. She hits him. He ends up making her fall to the ground. When she gets up, she picks up this long stick, like, or tree, long branch, rather, not even stick, long branch. And she hits him in the kneecap with it and started hitting him over the head with it. He manages to get into his car. And she starts busting out the windows. And he talk about, look at you, a crazy bitch. I'm like, what? Like, you really feel some type of way because, you know, you're not packing. Like, if you knew you had a small penis, you shouldn't even try to insinuate having sex with her, you know, because women, me included, we don't rock with the little. Like, we need something average and above. Like, but come on now, if you're little, that's not gonna work. It really throws off the whole mood, the whole vibe, the whole person in general, because it's like, that's not what I was expecting. It's like, yeah. So anyways, she busts the windows out his car. After she does that, he calls her a crazy bitch. And then she was like, oh no, you got me messed up. So she got her car keys. She walks over to her car, gets to her car. Next thing you know, boop, she done crashed into this guy's car. And I don't know if he's alive or not. And all you do is see her scream at the end, like, you got her messed up. Like, see, right there, she should have listened to Andy a long time ago and called Preston, like, come on now. That right there, that's what Preston did to you. That was very, very minor to what happened with Jonah. Like, Either way, both situations shouldn't have happened. But I'm just saying, Preston ain't never put his hands on you. Like, and you literally just met him that one night, and it transpired to that. That's just crazy. I think that's probably what his hidden agenda was to begin with. And I also think that Jonah probably did the same thing to his baby mother. Like, he's trying to portray something that really isn't, and she's probably too scared to leave. I don't know, but that ain't my business. This is a show, but still, that ain't my business. But anyways, let's continue. We got Karen and Miss Lisa. At this point, I'm tired of both of them. Like, Miss Lisa is just there to help you and make sure that you're good, because we do not know how far along Karen is, and she's making it seem as if she got it like that. Because wasn't you saying in season one that, you know, you're 36 and you worried about not having kids, not having kids faster, and they feel like your biological clock is ticking. But now that, you know, you got somebody's in your corner to like help you, it's just too much for you. Like, come on now, you're really dragging your feet about the situation. Like, if you was messing with two guys, wouldn't you want to know who the father is, so that way you can just let the right person know, like, this is what's up, this what happened, blah, blah, blah. But like, you literally dragging your feet about it. Like, just because I understand it takes a while for, you know, the process to, you know, get going. But that doesn't always mean that the first person you have sex with is going to be the baby father. It's not. It is definitely not. Because y'all ain't seen no Maury cases. Yeah. And then also, sometimes it turn out to be neither one of them be the baby daddy. But still, Karen, right now, you and your mama is getting on my nerves. Like, you worried about her stressing you out. But she just trying to look out for your well-being regardless of how old you is. Like, you know how many parents don't? You should be very appreciative, because, you know, they be like, okay, well, you're young. So, eventually, Miss Lisa lets her go. And she was kind of right. I agree with Miss Lisa. She was kind of like, Fatima was right. Like, you don't, you know, backtrack to see all that stuff. She was like, yeah, I did. That's how I knew it was Zach. Yeah, but in your letter, you said Zach was such this, Zach was such that. Why are you still holding on to hope, that he might be your baby daddy? He dogged you out for 3 years. He wasn't all this. He wasn't all that. Like, but you decided to stay with him. Like, if that isn't toxicity at its finest, I don't know what to tell you. But y'all went your separate ways. He dogged you out. You feel like the relationship was a waste of time. But you want him to be your baby daddy. Make that make sense? Karen? Yeah, but anyways. So, her mother basically agreed to let her go to the salon for a few minutes, whatever. So, they get to the salon, and Pam is happy to greet both her mom and her, and she goes to sit down, and she starts talking about, oh, the salon is good and stuff like that. So eventually, Miss Lisa gets a phone call, and while she goes in the back, Pam and Karen are talking, and she's trying to devise a plan so that she can spend time with the girls and stuff like that. So in walks Andy. I skipped the part where she called Andy while she was at home. So she's at the salon. Andy walks in, and she was like, well, I want to get up with you, Sabrina, and Danni. And yeah, so that we can have a girl's time and whatever, so that I can get some time, free time to myself, because I'm basically tired of my mama on my nerves and pressuring me about what I can do and have me on bed and stuff like that. So whatever the case may be. Long story short, come to find out, Miss Lisa had called Aaron and told him, like, listen, he wants to help, and it'll be good for you. I mean, she eventually said, I got my girls and got Aaron. So, I don't know. It's like she wants Aaron, but then again, she don't want Aaron. I don't know. She's kind of confusing me. Right now, I'm not really feeling her character. I mean, I kind of wasn't never feeling her character. Like, from season 1, I wasn't never feeling her character. I mean, I just, whatever. They can't be. So, whatever. Her mother agreed to let her be on her own, but she's still gonna make sure she check up on her because her mother got called away for some assignment or whatever case it be. Also, this right here is getting on my nerves. Andy, Miss Andy, how you going to be stern with Gary and tell him to hurry up and get his stuff out of your bed and leave the house together? Then you tell him, so you're going to get out the bed naked, right? He covered himself with a towel. And he was like, he said something. I forgot that fast. He basically wanted to relive being back in the relationship and sleeping over her house, and she's not here for it. She's stern on telling him to get out of her bed so they can leave. But then he was like, he had to go take a shower. So she was like, okay, go take a shower. So as he was leaving, he turns around. He shows her his big friend. And she starts giggling like a kid in the candy store. Like, how you went from 0 to 360 that fast? Like, you was just stern. And now you all giddy at him. Like, listen, no, make up your mind. Like, come on now. It ain't all about that. Trust me, it's not. They come and go. Okay, let that one go and move on to the next one. Like Robin. But whatever. So now we got Andy, all over the place. She's calling to check on Danny. Danny has not returned any phone calls or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, she's on her way to the office. Fatima and Zach. One thing about Fatima, she gonna kill and slay a outfit. Sis was looking bad in that orange jumpsuit. Okay? So, basically, Zach was downstairs cooking, I guess, oatmeal, porridge, whatever the case may be, because I know it ain't no grits. Okay? So, he was like, I made you breakfast. She was like, what the heck is this? So, basically, she had like this attitude, but I wouldn't say attitude because, women say they don't have attitude, but they have attitude. So basically, Zach was like, hey, what's up? Good morning, stuff like that. He was like, you don't want to talk about Karen? She was like, no, I'm good. You don't want to talk about us? No, I'm good. Like, she basically just shut down any inclination of talking to him. So he was like, listen, I can't do this. Like, listen, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. She wasn't trying to hear it. So basically, he was like, I want to take you out on a date. She had an issue with him trying to take on a date. She's like, why? I can't take you out on a date. Like, why I got to be some reason? Oh, I got to take you out. She was like, listen. He was like, listen, I'm going to take you on a date. So we, get back in good graces because it's like, she, in her mind, she's basically trying to process it all. She's basically hearing his side and her side. And it's like, she's trying to put two and two together. But all in all, reluctantly, she agreed to the date. And, she went off to work. So we get to the job. And in walks Danny. No. Hayden and Robin. Come to find out, Robin found out that Hayden's IP address was the address that linked the email about Paris and Andy. So Hayden, him trying to talk his stuff, and Robin is just basically like, okay, well, he hear what Hayden say, but he don't believe what Hayden said. He's just trying to like save face, whatever case it be. So long story short, Robin tells Hayden that was his third strike, and I'm gonna let this one pass. But if you do something like this again, you're fired. And Hayden was like, okay, boss, whatever the case may be. And also, Hayden, after Robin left, Hayden calls Gary to tell him about the situation between what he just happened with Robin. And Gary was like, not for it. He was like, oh my God. He was like so over it. He's like, he don't even know why they're friends. He was like, Hayden, you talk too much. You don't know how when to shut your mouth. And he don't. He be saying stuff that's not even necessary. Like, just let it go. Like, you're a grown man worrying about somebody else's business. Like, oh, he's another small man too. So, he feel emasculated by a fine woman. Like, gotta stay away from them. They crazy, as we can see. But anyways, Gary wasn't up for it. He was like, listen, I got work to do. You on your own about that. So he hated, hung up his phone, threw it on the desk, and decided to get back to work. Now, while Fatima's in her office, she gets wait, is that before? Oh, Andy finally made it to work, right? And not Hayden, Robin comes into her office to talk. And she was like, sir, is this about business? And he was like, no. But I only want to talk to you if it's about business. So basically, she shut him down because what he did to her, that was hurtful for her. Like, that was like disgusting behavior that she'd never seen from him. And the fact that he did that to her, oh, she had every right to feel the way she feels. So eventually, she didn't listen to anything he had to say, and he left out the office with a face like, yeah, he kind of messed that up on his own right. But then again, Fatima walks into the office and was like, listen, what was that about? And she was like, yeah, nothing. If it's not about business, I don't really care. So she also told her, Andy also told Fatima that, the judge still ain't get back to her in regards to Sabrina. So she was like, hold up, wait a minute, just stay by your phone for a few minutes. Let me handle it. So Fatima go on her phone. They start talking about it. And Fatima also tells her how she went to Karen's house. And she also tells her how Miss Lisa was right. She really put her in her place. Hopefully everything goes good. And then a few minutes later, Andy gets a phone call. The judge told her that she can see her. And that was that. She was like, oh, I really do love you. You really do know how to handle business. And Fatima was like, yeah, that I do. She did that. So after that, not Fatima, Andy, she steps out. That's when she goes to see Karen at her salon or whatever. So after that, Fatima's back in her office doing some work. And Danny walks into the office and she meets with, I guess, Linda, the head person that handles the clerk, whatever you call it. So she starts asking, it's Andrea Barnes, and she's Daniela King, and I also go by Danny. She's like, well, she's not in at the moment. So she was like, well, what about Fatima? So Linda calls Fatima, and Fatima was talking to her. She was like, listen, I have a Danny here. She was like, Danny? Did she ask for me? She was like, no at first, but she was like, she did ask, since, Andy is out, you're the next person. So she was like, well, did she ask him? She was like, yeah. So eventually Fatima comes out to greet Danny. You can see, like, her voice is, like, she's shook. But she's like, I don't know. Long story short, Fatima goes to get Danny. And Danny makes, Danny, like, listen, she don't really say nothing, but eventually Fatima takes her to the back and takes her into Andy's office and basically sits her down, like, listen, are you okay? She's like, I just need Andy right now. So eventually she leaves. Danny in the office, she steps out, she makes a phone call to Andy. Next thing you know, Andy comes in. She was like, listen, you gotta go into your office. Danny's here and she's not okay. So eventually Andy goes see Danny. Andy asks Fatima to get her some water. And then Danny was like, listen, I think I'm going to need a lawyer. I think I killed the guy. And yeah. This episode, it was intense to certain parts, but it's like, dang. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think Danny deserved what happened to her? Or do you think, regardless of what situation you got going on, a man shouldn't put his hands on a woman and a woman shouldn't, like, provoke or entice a man regardless of what's going on? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below. That was it for this episode. So, guys, it was really too much. It was too much. Pushed to the limit. And at that point, Danny was pushed to the limit. Like, for real. So, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this recap of episode 8 of season 5, Tyler Perry Sistas. Yeah. So, with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next one. What are y'all thoughts? Did y'all like this episode or not? Let me know in the comment section down below. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.